evening, everyone. We're here for the 6 o'clock hour. 49 hours to go, one down, and we are here for 6 o'clock with the most Reverend Phoenix Coffin Williams, our first priest regent. Whew, I got that all out in one sentence. All right, yeah.
Yes.
And my lovely general, the Right Reverend Sir Elizabeth Hamilton High Correll. And then I am your hostess with the leastest. Just kidding. In titles, that is, Sir Brian Ellicott. Yeah. Oh my God, we're at $610 already. Yeah.
Yay!
Yes, oh yes, we are, and I am so pumped. Like, starting off with 5%, let me just gush for a second, guys. Starting off at 5% before we even hit go. Y'all. Hi, Phoenix.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing phenomenally well. Thank you very much for asking. How you doing?
Me, I'm riding this wave. Like, all day I was nervous, and then when the light went green, when the 3, 2, 1 countdown went, I'm like, oh, I know how to do this. I've done this before.
You all have been working exceptionally hard. I'm so proud of y'all.
I really appreciate that, and I know that Brian appreciates that too, because this man right here has been my number one, like Captain Picard and freaking what's his name? I can't even remember his name. I just know him
I'm
as number one.
Riker. Yeah.
Riker, exactly.
Is
Jonathan
that a
Frakes,
Star
oh,
Wars
man.
reference?
It is a Star Wars reference, yes.
It's actually a Star Trek.
Oh, Star
reference.
Trek. I'm so sorry. Star Trek. Oh, God. You knew
But-
which one I meant. You confused me on purpose, didn't you, mister?
But-
You got me good. Mama, he got me good. Say hi to the house mother, by the way. She's right over there.
Since we're gonna take that note, oh man.
Hold on. It's only the three of us here, Mom. She
And
wants
everyone
to have her
online.
2 seconds of fame. Say hi, Mom. Hold
You have
on.
a background on. Okay.
This is my mom, everybody. Unexpected drop in, but that's okay. What kind of
So yeah, back to the telethon.
Yeah.
cool beans. All right. Well, thank you, Mom, for that little bit of the surprise there. Always interesting when surprises happen, but we're gonna roll with it. So, Sir Brian, what do you want to talk about with Phoenix today?
I think before we start, we should ask our first priest regent for a brief blessing over our telethon, and then we'll get into our Friday festivities. How does that sound, everyone?
Y'all want a blessing?
Please. I would
sir.
love it, because let me tell you, you give some of the most powerful blessings that I have ever heard or felt. No lie.
So you say that, and now I have to come with a powerful blessing. No pressure.
No pressure.
I mean, you can come with whatever you need. I'm not
right.
Like about it.
All right. I'll just go ahead, breathe. For a second, I have this expansion suit right here.
Heck yeah!
I love that.
Okay, so I have the original version of the deck. I'll show y'all in a minute. But for right now, for the inspiration for this blessing, let's just see if the Major Arcana wants to give us some inspiration. What we got here? All right. So that's like real funny to me that the Fool was the card to jump out. Good evening, Right Reverend Lori Blackman. Okay, so with the Fool comes infinite possibilities, infinite potential, all the success that you could dream of, because on the way to the world or the Wheel of Fortune, you start at the Fool. So, Holy Mother Goddess, Holy Father God, most sacred and beloved ancestors, I call you down into this physical world to move through our paladins, move through our performers, move through our guests, move through our donors, so that our will is moved into a combined will. so that our work is channeled in one direction for one purpose, for the goal that we are joined here for. May the road to the Parliament be open for our paladins, for our tradition, and for magical and pagan people who find that their place is at the Parliament of World's Religions. May this work give voice to those who deserve to speak and who deserve to be heard. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
All right.
Thank you.
It is Friday. It is a full moon. New Yorkers are in the building.
Go New Yorkers and Liz. Yes.
New York
Yes.
is adjacent. It still counts. Pennsylvania touches.
Does
the border
Pennsylvania
touches?
believe that it still counts? Because I don't know that they want to be a part of this. Maybe Liz does.
I
but
mean,
don't know that Pennsylvania
why-
wants to be a part of this?
Why wouldn't Pennsylvanians want to be a part of this?
Right.
We used
Everybody.
to have a lot of people in Pennsylvania, and then stuff happened, and then I'm.
That's
kind
how we get. That's how we get shout outs, folks. See
Yeah.
that? See that?
Yeah, look at that! Look at that! Enchanted Mystery. We see you.
Enchanted Mystery. Why does that sound so familiar?
Because it should.
Who's Enchanted Mystery?
Oh boy.
I think if memory serves me correctly, I think that's Kai's temple, isn't it? Let me. I
Well,
need to go to
on that note,
Correllians.com.
it's Friday. It is a full moon. We are raising money. We are going to Parliament. I've never been to Chicago. I am excited.
Yes.
I've also never been to Chirac.
To what?
Boys Town, here we come.
I called it Chirac, Lady Liz. Chirac.
Chirac.
Mhm.
Okay.
Chi-town.
The home of Barack
Okay. Okay.
Obama. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm
Yeah.
just rolling with it at this point. I'm so happy to be here. All the last couple of months it's been a struggle bus, but man, now all that stress just kind of melted away. And it's gonna be so amazing. The door and the gates are open wide, and we are receiving. And this is gonna be so epic.
I'm excited. I mean,
So epic. What are you excited? What are you excited for at the Parliament? What are you looking forward to? Both of you.
For me,
I'll let you go first, sir.
so this will be my second Parliament of the World's Religions. My first one was in Toronto, and it was a blast. The Parliament of the World's Religions is definitely like my kind of event. I really do enjoy going to the conference style events, the workshops. I loved seeing the market downstairs with like the books that could be purchased to like follow up on some of the stuff that I was learning. Like I have a huge book kink, y'all. Like, come on, let's do it on a bed of books. I have a book kink, a book fetish.
You're talking to a man who just bought many books from Lord Don. So
yeah.
right there with you.
Oh yes.
But like I really enjoyed the marketplace. I enjoyed being able to be in robes at like an event like that. That was super cool. Meeting new people. Meeting new people of faith, meeting open-minded people of faith from other traditions, and finding that like even within some of the Abrahamic faiths, or even within some of the faiths that are outwardly hostile to magical people or to witches, like there's still sects in there kind of like, actually, like all the stuff that y'all talk about is a lot closer to our mysticism than like is outwardly taught. And I really like seeing that for real at the Parliaments of World Religions, and being able to make contact with people like that as well. Because of going to the Parliament of World Religions in Toronto last time, Lady Kai Iden and myself had the opportunity to guest lecture at Canisius College, which is a Catholic college here in Buffalo where she and I both are. So that was super cool. And so I'm like just open to a lot of the ways that like being at the Parliament can advance my work inside the Correllian Church, and as well as, you know, some of the work that is intrinsic to my career too.
Awesome. That's amazing. And so for people that don't know, what do you do for your career?
I'm a priest.
Well, yes, for obviously.
For life.
Well, yes. It
For life.
usually is a lively calling.
Um,
So what about yourself, Sir Brian?
Well, since I've only been a Correllian for over a year, really just meeting people since I joined during the pandemic, and I've really actually never met people except you now in person, and Phoenix a long time ago, but I wasn't Correllian yet. So we'll get into that story later.
that is an auspicious occurrence.
So, you know,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. Obviously I've never also been to Chicago. Never really, I mean, I've explored a lot of faiths in my
Mhm.
short 3 decades of life. A little more than 3 decades, but the point is that, you know, I've never really gotten to have more conversations with them, and then obviously human rights is a big part of my jam. So I'm looking forward to having all of those wonderful, lively, professional conversations.
Excellent. You know, for myself, I can't wait to kick back with my fam, all of y'all included in that. And we have a few requests. We have one request that says, "Hey, come to Minnesota." I mean, it literally is just 2 states away, but that would be quite the traversing of the ways from Chicago, you know, over by 2 states. I mean, maybe sometime we could see a temple bloom in Minnesota. I don't know that we have any there right now.
What exactly is in Minnesota for us to go
The
to?
Mall of
That is
America.
my question.
Oh man, the mall.
Say yes.
Yes.
We've got to go to Minnesota. Why didn't you just lead with that?
I wasn't the one who was leading with this question. Miss Katrina in the chat, please, why didn't you lead with that?
There's
I
a
guess
roller coaster
is
in the
in the
mall.
building. Yes.
I need some new
And
You know, back in the day, the Mighty Ducks scene where they're skating through the mall, that's the Mall of America.
it
So
is?
we should do
Oh,
that.
oh,
Come on.
okay. Minnesota looking better and better. And Katrina says the Valley Fair. So I don't know what the Valley Fair is either, but maybe it's another attraction that we have to go see in Minnesota. Backtracking slightly, you know, I'm looking forward to just commingling with people of like mind and differing mind and seeing everyone dressed in their robes, listening to all of the plenaries and making memories. I'm a very memory oriented person. Like in my head it's like events instead of years, right? Like my milestones are all the big events that happened in my life, and then I associate it with like, oh yeah, how old was I then? Oh yeah, that's that year kind of deal. We do have a question in the chat. Question for Lord Phoenix. As a leader of the tradition and the first of color for this tradition to lead, what do you hope your legacy will be? Oh my goodness.
That's a great question. I do want to correct that I would not be the first leader of color in this tradition, but I'm the first Black one. With the Correllian ancestors, I do believe that they consider themselves people of color due to their mixed native ancestry. So that is what I believe to be true right now. And we can ask Reverend Don if that's actually the case. But I do think that that is the case. I will say I'm the first Black one. And when it comes to being a Black leader, there are a few things that I have to look out for. I have to look out for the glass ceiling, which will determine how high I can go in anything I can do. And I have to look out for the glass cliff, which is something that makes me think or believe that I'm supported, but could actually shatter out from underneath me. So those are two things that happen in like the workplace or in the corporate place or in the business. When you come to like working with other people, when you come into working with other people who have a degree of whiteness in their identity. When it comes to my legacy, I just want people to know that I understand these things. I understand how they work. I understand how they work in our communities. I understand how they work in our pagan communities. And I do plan on navigating everything that I have to continue to make sure that our Correllian tradition has a next generation to be handed off to, and to let people know that this is what it looks like when you do the work. This is what it looks like when you're anti-racist. This is what it looks like when you're anti-genocide. This is what it looks like when you're pro-equity. This is what it looks like when you want everyone to have a seat and a bite at the table. And that's what I'm here for.
Man, oh man. I am looking forward to all that you have to bring and to do as our first priest. I am psyched. Like, you're my goodness. That was like the speech of the freaking century right there. I'm sorry. That was amazing. And I love you for it so much.
Thank you. And very amazing question, Lady Ebony.
Yes. I believe we can do finger snaps and by way of clapping out loud, right? So let's see. What else would we like to talk about today? Sir Brian, do you have any questions for?
I think I would love for us to talk more about, since we're going into the Parliament of World Religions, talking about human rights. Let's spend some of this time dishing about human rights, so that, we are both, all three of us, younger than most people when they think of clergy and aspiring clergy. People usually see older folk. So being younger folk, this is a big topic of our lives. Our, Pluto's being in Scorpio, all of us, that's the reason our generation pushes the way it does. So let's talk about it.
So really good point. When someone said who's Semper Fi? How come they said we never went live?
I don't know who that is.
Anyway, so thinking about our current situation with the Correllian Church being a minor world religion, and you've got a millennial who is just ascended to one of the highest seats in the church. When I was having the conversation, it was said to me that it's very likely that I'm the youngest person in the country to be moving into this position. What this means is that for the folks who are a lot older than me, it's going to be real uncomfortable, because now it's expected for me to say exactly what I think and is exactly on my mind. And that might not fit in with the worldview that people have come to expect for various reasons, based on age or based on class or based on, whatever worldview they have. And historically, I have had to struggle to get people who are older to me to just recognize that I have a valid view of the world, and my view of the world is more in line with what the world is actually becoming, because a lot of times it is people in my generation who are steering it, whether or not they recognize that or
not. For me as a millennial, I feel like we're here to break through into the next generation of what we have to bring, of what we have to offer. Millennials are and this is something that I cannot stand, and that's something that I want to shatter. Like you were saying, like that glass wall, right? I want to break the idea that millennials only eat, avocado toast, only drink Starbucks coffee, and are young and broke all the time, right? We have to cultivate this better image for ourselves, and it starts with one person, or in this case 3, right? Because we're all going in this direction. We are all becoming more than what is expected. And Pam makes a good point. Ageism goes both ways. We need to respect everyone's experience. And I thank you for that, Pam, because the amount of ageism that I have encountered in my time, since I was 5 days, I was ordained 5 days after my 18th birthday. Okay, I have been a priestess more of my life than I have not been a priestess. And it's almost like we have to work harder to get to where we're going. And me and Ebony and I were talking about something yet last night, even about people putting us up on this like grand expectation pedestal kind of thing. Like, even though I am the general, even though I am an archpriestess of this tradition, I am still human too. I still have vulnerabilities and shadow and faults, but I also have strengths and expectations and boundaries, and it's all part of the human experience. So I think that this whole thing about, people just approaching us like we're human instead of approaching us like we're gods that need to be mounted on a pedestal on a wall kind of thing. I mean, yes, is God and Goddess inside of each and every one of us? Absolutely. But just as we know that we have to talk to the ancestors as if we're going face to face and not putting them on a pedestal and limiting them, so too here. Right? As above, so below. I know I ran around the little carousel a little bit with that, but there you go.
I'm looking at it
differently.
I'm looking at it from a place of right now being a defining time for the trans community, and a defining time to not only be the activist in that way of leadership, but being that place of grounding and centering during a time of upheaval for people that look like me, feel like me, and that look like me isn't the white part, it's the trans part. The intersectionality of when to step up, when to step back, and when to let people defend you and when to defend people.
Yeah.
And that's a two-way street. And that's something that I've had to tell people about a lot, is that I have no problem stepping forward when there is something about me that gives me an upper hand, but some things make me have to fall back and let other people defend me. So what I'm really looking forward to, especially right now, and being that it's this topic in Chicago around world religions, I want to have some real honest conversations with people in religions that are not upholding their personal whatever commitment they made to protect humans to their viewership of higher power, but that they're doing harm, which is an actual contradiction to some of what their beliefs are. So that's a deep one for me, but I am looking forward to having some of those conversations.
Let's go.
Woo! We are starting off swinging, and I love it. One of the things that I really appreciate about a lot of the people that I encounter in our generation is that we don't sugarcoat stuff. We are some of the realest people that I have ever met. And it is so good. Go ahead.
Yes, I gotta save all that sugar for my tank. I can't coat anything else.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I save that sugar for my coffee in the morning.
Amen to that. My cup is empty. I'm about to go get more in like a half an hour. I have been drinking it all day. Can't go without my coffee. This guy,
coffee
This
I
guy
think-
over here got me into cold brew. Amazing. Thank you for that, Brian, by the way. It's incredible.
One trip to New York on one weekend, and it was no turning back.
Nope. Every night it has become like a ritual. I'm like, oh, gotta make the cold brew. Can't go without tomorrow morning. Let's do the things. It's like making a potion, right? And like I love so Phoenix. I know that you are big into like bringing the magic into the everyday, right? Like there is no moment in your life that I know of, at least from what you've told me, that is not magical. And like this has just become in the last 3 days something where I'm like, okay, tomorrow let's bring the amazingness, let's bring the energy, let's bring the goodness. Please just brew in my fridge. I will see you in the morning. Good night, sweet dreams. And then I go upstairs and I tuck myself into bed and it's good night, sweet dreams. And then amazing, the coffee is ready to go in the morning. I don't have to clean out no pitcher. I only have to get my cup ready with my sugar, heat it up in a little bit in the microwave to get it going, and then pour in the milk, and it's just chef's kiss, magic, bang it. I think we had a question in the chat room from earlier.
There was a few. Somebody asked me what my favorite taco was.
Yes, that was Kai. What's your favorite taco? Let's talk about food. We can talk about food. Why not?
I do love tacos. I actually got tacos this past Tuesday.
Ooh, yeah, Taco Tuesday.
There was this place here in Buffalo that I'd never tried before, and I went there with my boyfriend and with his friend.
Yes.
I want to say it was called Taco Community Brewery or something like that, TCB. And they had artisan tacos, specialty tacos, like regular tacos. Like one of them was, did I have tacos on Friday? Lori Blackman said I had tacos today. Today's Friday. I didn't have tacos today. Anyway, on Tuesday, there was a Philly cheesesteak taco that I bit into that was pretty good. I had an asada, which was delicious. And then I had a chicken taco that had some mild salsa on it, some avocado, pretty dope. Last Friday. Yes, Lori Blackman. I did have some last Friday. You're right. At the restaurant we went to for lunch.
Right? That's probably what she was referring to for sure. Let me see here.
We had a question in the ticker from Katrina that I find particularly interesting.
Oh yes, please.
Since we've delved into various topics, now we're going on to the topic of 420 and magic. And I know I am a member of several groups that use marijuana and magic. So occasionally, as an individual, I do partake, but it's to each their own.
So I'm gonna talk from a few different levels. First of all, cannabis is a natural product that comes directly from Mother Earth, given to us by Mother Earth and Father Sky. If you talk about the sunlight that goes into producing it, that's real. The whole, is it legal, is it illegal, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. That's like a construct that we agree to live by in various societies. So there's that as well. You have to think about that. And you have to think about, like, how do communities and societies behave when this particular product or this particular item is legal versus when it's not legal? And then you can start to understand how that construct functions or how it gets people to start to function and believe. When it comes to its use in magic, absolutely. Why the hell not? For its use recreationally, if you can do it, and you will know if you can do it or not, then go ahead. If you can't do it, because you and everyone around you will start to know if you can't do it, then go ahead and stay away from it. I think that because of the weird temperance or the moratorium or what have you that we had on cannabis and had on marijuana in the United States, it creates this weird kind of FOMO in the citizens where they're like, gotta try it, gotta have it, gotta do all the things with it, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, because it's a little bit forbidden.
Right.
And that leads to various relationships with it as a substance. So we've seen that like people use it as self-medication, which it is a great medicinal product until it starts to wear your brain into Swiss cheese and you start to have weird relationships with pleasure and dopamine and you can no longer tolerate the highs and lows of life, right? So utilizing cannabis as a tool for growth, expansion, to help with communicating with the divine, to help you have a good time, help you relax, help you sleep. Absolutely. However, each of us as individuals do have to take a real hard look about how we participate with mood and mind altering substances and make sure that we are not engaging in shadow components and we are engaging with the most beneficial components, you know? Like that's my official stance.
Right. So like basically use in moderation and don't abuse the thing.
I mean, abuse is not usually a great thing to participate in.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, thank you so much. Go ahead, please.
There's a lot of intersectionality with everything we've talked about so far in different lenses and mirrors and ways to look at it. I would say that we're all, during the next 49 and a half hours, going to have a lot of individual views and perspectives. So everything we say is as people and as so just laying that out there for right now.
Absolutely, and thank you for that, Sir Brian. I appreciate all the conversation that we're having, and how you all out there in audio visual television land can help us in our cause. We are raising money to house about 20 of us paladins at the Parliament of the World's Religions happening this August in Chicago, Illinois. We need about $10,000 to get us housing and food while we're there for 10 days-ish. Okay? So we are at the $610 mark. We have had 14 supporters. We would love it if you could give us a cup of coffee's worth or 10 cups of coffee's worth or whatever you can afford and would like to give. We appreciate all of the generosity that we have seen so far. And if you cannot give monetarily, you can help us out by spreading the word and getting this out to as many channels as possible. Facebook, YouTube, Roku, etc. Share, like, and comment for the entire weekend. We can't wait for what's coming next. But we're not done. We got 30 minutes or so to go. And
So
you know,
thank
go
you.
ahead. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, John, for your 2 donations most recently. We're able to see that, and we're super grateful for that. If you want that shout out, come on and put your name up on the screen so we can say it and give you a special thanks. You know, we're totally here for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I will quickly thank both my fiance Jay, my friend Marcy, and my mom for their contributions already. Goddess knows. It's been a lot of work this week, so they've donated while watching this fabulous production come to life. So that means a lot to me.
Yes, love it.
Yes, I am all here for all of it. You know, that so many people gave before we even went live just meant the absolute world to me. I was like, oh my God, are we seriously 5% of the way there already? It was just watching a flower bloom before it even reached sunlight. And now we're here, and now we're in the sun. We're shining like rock stars, and we got a long way to go, but we have 49 and a half hours to do it. And Kai would like us to say the following. 18-inch Correllian wall hanging for the individual who donates the most at the end of the weekend, or by the end of the weekend, I should say. Thank you so much for that, Kai. And if you want a Correllian wall hanging, I mean, they're pretty amazing. I'm just saying, handmade, hand-painted, all that kind of good jazz. And, we have psychic readers that you can book by taking a look at our auction. They are the whole buy it now deal over there. givebutter.com/c/Correllians Live/auction is where you want to go. It is in the little, I don't know what you call that over there. The little overlay.
The ticker.
The ticker. And it is in the ticker down here too. So yeah, there's so many ways that you can give, and we thank you all. Where
And
is
I'm
the
gonna
link
take.
to donate? Yes, please.
It's there. It's right there.
I was reading a question from the chat.
You change it up.
Let's see here.
So back to the cannabis thing that Logan. There are some philosophies, and like even people within my family who believe that like the higher you are, the closer you are to God to begin with. So that's an experiment that like I know for a fact people engage in. And so to each their own, but like you will not catch me judging anyone, and you might actually catch me smoking because it is legal in New York State.
That's great.
It is.
And I mean, I've partaken in cannabis a couple of times. Nothing. Say again?
You a stoner now?
I mean, not exactly, but I mean, like if I really need to chill out, God, please, just give me 1 or 2 nice puffs, and that's all I need. That's it. I don't need to sit there smoking the entire night. I just need a couple to chill out. It's a great tool. Just like anything else that we use, any other food product, any other beverage, any other medicine, any other magical tool that we have for our ability to make our lives better, right? Because that's what we're all about. And that's what I love about being a magical person, is that I have all of these tools at my disposal to help me make that shift and to help me get into a better place. And I have had so many people that I am so thankful for, like words cannot even express. And you two are among them. Like, I can't thank you enough. And don't make that face. Don't make that face. You know it. You have helped me in some of my darkest hours. And this man right here, oh my goodness. We have gotten to know each other so well, and it's been such an amazing road. Oh my God, look at that. What is that? Did you make that?
No, Kai painted this for me.
Kai painted that. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. All right. So somebody asked for the link to donate. Katrina, it's coming your way right now. 1 second, please. And here you go. I just put it in the chat so that she could click on it. So, and anybody else who wants to donate, please click on the link that I just gave you guys in the chat room to all of the, I think it's like 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 channels that we are able to post messages in right now. So yeah, speaking of bettering our lives, what is one of the best ways that each of you has to use magic and the goddess and God-given powers to improve your life?
That's such a fun question, because I just be doing magic all the damn time. Like you just saw me pick this up, right? But like inside was a bunch of like
oh, I didn't even realize that it was a lid to something. I thought it was just like a little like patent or something for the
so like there's a bunch of stuff inside, and it's so weird because like there's stones and like seeds, like there's a key in here that was blessed by a priestess of Hecate. So I was just like, you know what? It's funny that you asked that question, because I got like a whole bunch of stuff right here. Like I have these incense right here. I got these cards right here. So like so I'm sitting in my office, which is also my temple.
Great.
So like I have a bunch of things. Like out of the things that I'm holding right now, like these cards and like this little tin. Let's say that I want to like make a spell for a better life. All right. Inside
Uh-huh.
this little tin, I happen to have these bags. So now I can make a mojo bag or a mojo hand. We got this little kind of bluish kind of thing and this reddish kind of thing. So correspondences could be like justice. This one could be a little bit like love or yeah, we call it some love. What else would we call this little burgundy for? Or this little, what would you call this one for, Brian?
I mean, I use burgundy or anything deep red for any sort of like love, powerful sexuality, um, you know, things that want to get red hot and
Boom.
passionate about.
Mhm.
So let's take this red one right here for a minute. So we'll do some love, sexuality kind of work. So I got this right here. So obviously something will go in here. I got these marigold seeds. I got pole bean seeds. Let's see what else I got here. Yeah. I got these seeds right here, which don't actually have a label. So like I probably will do divination on this and see what I should use them for.
Mhm.
But let's say I want to use the marigold. Boom. I got some stones here. This is um, lodestone. So these
Okay.
are magnetic stones, and they have like
Mhm.
magnetic sand like to feed them with. So I could use that for attraction right away. Add that to the satchel with the seeds. I have this rose quartz right here. You
Yes.
can also go in. And then what else would I want to use? All right, so
I think I got
huh?
I got some stuff for you there, Phoenix.
I got this deck of cards. Go ahead. What else you got?
I've got some lettuce. If you got some lettuce around for desire.
Okay.
Yep. I got some peas, so you have good communication. Got some beetroot for your passion.
Okay.
I've
Beets.
got some. Yeah, that's about it. I think that's all you need.
Sounds good.
Heck yeah.
And so I will maybe add all of these things with the Lover's Tarot card.
Yes.
Yes, please.
And so, like in this deck, I have a Tarot of Hecate that is
Mhm.
like a reading deck. Like the have y'all seen the original, like the old one before the expansion started coming out?
Yes. In fact, I was in some of the Magic TV videos. You'll see like a person fanning them out as like a kind of advertisement. That was me. That was my hands. Lord Don came up to me and was like, "Do you want to help me make a commercial, Liz?" And I said, "Of course."
So
That's
Love
them
it.
right there.
y'all might not, some of y'all might not be up on this deck, right? Like boom. So I got
Mhm.
this I will not burn candles on. I will not fold any of these up. I will not write on these.
Mhm.
But for this expansion pack, I might just go ahead and take the Lovers and just fold it up so it can go in the little pack.
Nice.
So
Very
inside,
nice.
so of course, charge and bless everything.
Mm.
So charge and bless the marigold, blow on it a little bit, pass it through the air. You want to make it a whole ritual. You can light the sacred incense and bless them and everything, right? Or you just like on the low trying to do some like folk magic real quick. You
Mhm.
just just put your breath on it, say a prayer over it to activate it and charge it, and get rid of any negative vibrations that might be or unhelpful vibrations that might be attached to it or what have you. So mote it be. Add it to the thing, put it in. Same thing with the rose quartz. Give it a name, maybe. Knock
Mhm.
on it. Give it some wisdom. Pray over it. Add it to the bag. Same thing with the lodestone. feed the lodestone, feed the bag that you create, put the stuff in, easy peasy. So like deadass right now, this thing that I'm making with the marigold and the rose quartz and this lodestone, right? So if you want to attract a specific kind of lover, right, you can use either the Adam or the Eve version of the lodestone. So if you want to attract an Adam, you use the Eve lodestone. If you want to attract an Eve, you use the Adam lodestone. If you want to attract something that is a little bit more unique to the spectrum and not necessarily bound by weird binaries that don't really help you define your identity, then maybe you take both the Adam and the
And the
Eve
Eve.
lodestone, and in between that, you put maybe a piece of hematite, because
Heck
that's also a metal kind of component. It's also attracting. You put it in between there because you want to attract everything that's in between Adam and Eve, everything that's in between those two poles. So that is my workaround for like trying to make people choke on the binary. You account for the stuff that's in between, you add that to the work, you bind the stone together, you feed it with the magnetic sand, you add it to this. Afterwards, you feed it with some whiskey, you feed it with some red wine, you feed it with some vodka, some rum. You can spit it on here, you can dunk it on here. You say your prayers for the love that you want over your ancestor altar. Then you carry this with you wherever you go. That way, the attracting components are attracting, and you're dwelling in that energy.
Heck yeah.
And so that's just like a quick hand for you to just like attract that love. Now, whatever you say to the stones, whatever you say to the herbs, that's going to be, you know, a charging component. So if you say, bring me someone who vibrates in a way that I can see who they are and that they can see who I am, or they can see my worth and my value. I attract to me the love that my higher self has always had in store for me, and I am patient and I am thorough as I work on recognizing it. Are examples of how you can kind of affirm or charge, you know, these magical things that you are working with. But yeah, so like as far as I'm concerned, like magic is always just an arm's reach away. If I need a tool, and if I'm really just relying on myself, then whatever, my heartbeat is really kind of it.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much.
So much for that.
Ow, ow.
10
And
10-minute
mine,
how-to. Yes.
mine's bullet journaling, as
Oh,
many the Correllian
love
know.
it. Love it.
It's both my artistic expression, my like focus, and a lot of my like my magic work has always been in some form of writing, whether it's within my activism or within my day job or even my hobbies. A lot of it is just writing and willing, you know, through the pen in one way or another. So I do that usually in often ways by the like colors of pens that I use or the markers I keep around or whatever deck or decks I'm using for the month, because I usually use at least 3 decks a month, because, you know, why have 60 plus tarot decks if you're only going to use one?
Why indeed? Why indeed?
At
You
least,
know,
you know, if you're gonna own them, use them. I do not have a full infinite tarot yet, unfortunately, but I do have several of the little expansions. And I was just, can I show off my art during the telethon?
Of course you can.
During the church auction through Sir Michael Neal, I was the winner of.
Yes.
So yeah, which is one of my favorite pieces of his artwork. Which also I do a lot of astrology magic. I do a lot of tarot. I do a lot of divinatory arts. Period. So that is what Brian does.
You know, that is so cool. And I myself have never quite been a tarot-y type of person, and it took me until I was 31 or 32 to figure out the divination method that I most resonate with. And so my good friend and one of the high priestesses in my temple, Nova Ides Iani, the new temple of Janus, introduced me to numismatomancy, divination through coins. And let me tell you, we did a whole bibliomantic chart to go with these coins, and there are 128 different possibilities that we stacked together in 8 hours. Like, we just spent the whole day into the night putting all of these things together from various books, both fiction and non. Ooh, runes, man! Look at you with them runes. So we have this numismatomancy, bibliomancy kind of combined thing that we just call the Oracle of Janus. And these coins never lie. Even if I don't understand what they're telling me in the moment, they have never been wrong. And one thing I did recently, because coins are noisy when you flip them and they land on wood, I got myself a dice bowl. Freaking silent, unless they clash against one another, but that's not very often. So that's my little thing. I absolutely love divination. It helps us so much to see what we need to see in the path ahead of us, and to see the barriers that are in the path ahead of us when the coins and the runes and the tarot is like, dude, you gotta jump to there's something in front of you, you gotta pivot, man. Trust that, because that's the universe speaking through that tool to warn you, and woe betide anybody who doesn't follow the warning.
And on that note, I would like to plug our divination alley, because we've been talking about divination. So, ta-da! We have readers from all over the world, from New York City to Thailand to the Philippines and back, depending which way around the world you go, forwards or backwards. So yeah, and all different forms and all different skill levels. So yeah, it's a great time. And for special auction, Lord Phoenix is donating some readings, only 4 15-minute readings. You should get those while they're hot.
Excellent. Yes, please. And let's see here. What else do we have in store for folks in that auction?
Do you want to give us a sneak peek, shall we?
Oh yes, please. Give us a sneak peek.
Okay.
Before we have to depart once again.
Auction. There it is. We have some great creative coaching from Reverend Sir Cloud. Some great artwork. There's lots of jewelry. I am not a jewelry man in that regard myself, but there's tons of that. All kinds of cool stickers. Our little fuzzy friends.
Love those.
You can get a numerology chart from Sir Reverend Mary Hawk.
And then we have that one of those, several of those cuff bracelets that you see up there for bidding, such as that one red cuff, the brass one. My friend Michelle made those. She is a fantastic bead artist, and each of those are one of a kind. So, and the cuffs should not react with your skin, because the copper the brass on the inside is completely covered with either beading or cloth. So get it while it lasts, folks. Like these are gonna be something that you could have in your collection for years and years and years to come. Brian, talk about those candles real quick if we can, before we have to go to our next break.
Oh, I'd love to. My friend Meg, who is a friend of mine from Hack Manhattan, she runs a little candle shop here in New York City. So we have 4 elemental candles. The fire one is ginger spice, which is I love that one very much. Air, which is breeze blossom. My personal favorite self-care item is the peppermint and eucalyptus. I love me some eucalyptus everything. And earth is oak, moss, and ember. So you can get all four, and there are some extras spares laying around. So if you only want one or two, please email us at correllianslive@gmail.com, and we will be sure to see what we can work out for you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Phoenix, for joining us for the last hour. It was such a pleasure to have you here.
Yes, it was so great to be here and have a little kiki with y'all. I can't wait to see y'all in person. Sir Brian, Witches Fest, for real. Everything else, I'm going to be at Parliament of the World's Religions. I'm gonna be looking fly like the 4th of July too. So like, keep me.
Heck yeah.
I have a special announcement that I haven't told Phoenix yet.
What?
There is an anonymous person, even I don't know whom it is, who donated me a ticket to Parliament. So I thought I wasn't going, and someone anonymously donated to me to be able to go to Parliament because of all this hard work that I've been doing with General Liz for the telethon. And I got that news from our new archpriestess, Lori Blackman. She let me know a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't announce it to anyone because I wanted to surprise y'all at the telethon.
That's what's up, man.
And on that note, I have to do my job and make us do the things.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's go. Oh, that's such good news.
I know, right? I was so thrilled when I heard. I really was. Folks, we're going to go away for just a little bit, okay? You stay right where you are. Wait for the next go around. If you're on YouTube, give it a refresh, okay? And then we'll be right back. Don't worry if you can't find us. Just poke around the pages and you'll be able to see us in no time.
You're watching the 2023 Correllians Live Telethon. The team here would like to thank you for all of your support in assisting us in bringing a contingent of paladins to the Parliament of the World's Religions in Chicago, Illinois, August of this year. We are trying to raise $10,000 to assist with the basic needs of housing, food, and travel expenses. Here are some words from the members of the event team on why it is important that we reach that goal.
Hi, I'm Reverend Mary Hawk, and I am a member of the Sacred Order of the Paladins. Why are we going to the 2023 Parliament of World's Religions? Because representation matters. It's important that pagans be there to show that we are a growing tradition, that we are a viable religion, and we need to take our seat among other world religions.
Hello, everybody. I am Reverend Sir Richard Donahue, also known as Cloud the Pagan Rapper, and I am a member of the Order of Paladins. Now, to help us send a contingent to the Parliament of World's Religions, to me, means one thing: community. It's the idea of coming together with multiple faiths for common goals. And it is paramount for the pagan community to have a seat at that table. And I, for one, am very, very proud that we are afforded this opportunity to do so. But to do that, we do need your help. We're trying to raise $10,000 so that we can feed and house the contingency of paladins that will be going to the Parliament. And it's through your help that we're going to be able to get there and represent the community in the best possible way that we can. So please, smash that donate button, all right? Smash that donate button. You can go to Correllians.live to donate. And I want to thank you guys for taking part in the telethon, okay? Check out our auction. Get yourself a reading from Divinationality. Do all of the things that we have provided for you throughout these 3 days. and let us come together in community and achieve our goal and allow us paladins to go and represent us at Parliament. Thank you very much. May you all blessed be.
Hello, I'm Right Reverend Sir Elizabeth, Program Director of the 2023 Correllians Live Telethon. Thank you so much for tuning in to our weekend-long event as we raise $10,000 to bring a contingent of paladins to the Parliament of the World's Religions coming up in August. We need to house and feed about 20 of us over in Chicago for 7 days. And to do that, we're going to need at least 10 grand. So here's our ask. Go to Correllians.live/donate and make us a monetary donation to our cause. Every dollar helps. We also have psychic readers and an auction you can participate in too. If you can't make a monetary donation, then do us another very big favor and share the event with your friends over social media. You can find us on the Pagan World TV app on Roku, Correllians Live and Magic TV via YouTube, and Correllians.live via any web browser. Thank you so much for your help and enjoy the show.
At the Parliament of World Religions in 2023, I'm personally looking forward to broad exposure and deep engagement with various wisdom traditions from around the world, particularly as regards pressing issues from today and future goals for our human journey. I expect that I'll be able to incorporate much of the learning back into my own personal path, as well as share tangible insights back into the metaphysical and spiritual community that I work within.
From all of us here at the 2023 Correllians Live Telethon, we want to thank you again for your support. Please be sure to check out Divination Alley and get yourself a reading. Or check out our online auction that is overflowing with wonderful craft items, books, and services for sale. Remember, our goal is to raise $10,000, so please help us spread the word about the event, our cause, and be sure to stay tuned for more. So thank you all again, and may you all blessed be. Enjoy the